Why does everything fall apart the moment you decide to become yourself? The friendships, the routines, the career, the dreams you spent years chasing, the places that once felt like home. One by one, they begin to disappear. It feels like life has taken everything from you. It feels unfair. It feels lonely. It feels like punishment. But what if it isn't destruction? What if you're witnessing something ancient? The mirror. There is an old principle, older than psychology, older than philosophy, older than the stories we tell ourselves. As within, so without. The outer world cannot remain unchanged when the inner world has transformed. Not because reality is against you, because reality reflects you, just as still water reflects the sky. Your life begins reflecting your consciousness, and the moment your inner world shifts, your outer world has no choice but to answer. Nobody tells you this. Everyone speaks about awakening. Very few speak about what happens next. The purge. The season where life feels like it has declared war on everything you built. Relationships become uncomfortable. Conversations feel forced. The job you've tolerated for years suddenly becomes unbearable. Places that once felt familiar feel strangely foreign. Even your dreams begin changing. You wonder, why am I losing everything? But perhaps you're not losing. Perhaps you're not able to live inside what was never truly yours. We often think the purge is random. It isn't. It's precise. Anything built upon fear begins to shake. Anything built upon performance begins to crack. Anything built upon proving your worth begins to lose its meaning. Anything sustained by self-abandonment can no longer survive because something inside of you has stopped agreeing to the life you've been living. You don't wake up one morning and decide to destroy your old life. You simply become too honest to keep pretending it fits. This is where many people misunderstand the journey. They believe life is testing them, punishing them, taking things away. But mirrors don't punish, they reveal. The mirror doesn't create misalignment, it exposes it. The relationship was already fragile. The career was already draining your spirit. The dream already belonged to someone else's expectations. The purge didn't create the cracks. It revealed where they had always existed. Truth simply made it impossible to ignore. And this is where most people turn back. Not because they're weak, because certainty feels safer than freedom, even if certainty is slowly destroying them. So they return back to the relationship, back to the job, back to the identity, back to the version of themselves that no longer feels alive, because the unknown can feel more frightening than familiar suffering. But here's the paradox. The longer you resist alignment, the louder the mirror becomes. Life doesn't stop reflecting, it simply reflects more clearly. And eventually, what no longer belongs begins collapsing on its own. The friendships end, the opportunities disappear, the routine falls apart, the plan you've spent years protecting no longer works. You call it failure, the mirror calls it truth. Because what is aligned doesn't require constant self-betrayal to survive. What belongs doesn't ask you to abandon yourself to keep it. The purge is not asking you to chase something new. It's asking you to stop clinging to what has already ended. there is a profound difference. You are not being asked to become someone else. You are being invited to remove everything that isn't you. This is why becoming often feels like losing. Not because life is emptying you, because it is emptying everything that no longer fits the person you are becoming. So let it fall. The identity, let it fall. The expectations, let them fall. The relationships that only survive because you disappeared inside them, let them fall. The dreams you inherited instead of chose, let them fall. Every illusion that convinced you misalignment was home, because alignment doesn't negotiate with illusion. Truth doesn't bargain with comfort, and reality will always reorganize itself around the person you have the courage to become. And one day you'll look back at everything you thought was falling apart and realize it was falling into place, not because life suddenly became easier, because your inner world and your outer world finally began speaking the same language. The mirror was never your enemy, it was your guide, showing you again and again where your soul had already moved long before your body was willing to follow. As within, so without. Return to self. AKUALUX.